There we go. Get the bracket out of the way. See, I remembered, guys. I remembered to get the bracket out of the way. I'm curious to see what we're going to see. I didn't look at the loadouts before we went in. The Rydrs have been running double galleon, but it looks like they've kind of abandoned it, and good golly, they kept the squid. But first, let's go ahead and look at the Bardlol's ships. First off, they have that one ship, a Pyramidium being piloted by Horus. Hades Artemis forward, with another Artemis and a flamethrower on the port side. They also have the Whistling Wind Chime. We saw a little bit of this in the semifinals, being piloted by DJ Tips and Tricks. It is a junker with a Hades and Artemis on the port side, another Artemis on the front for a trifecta, and a Gatling flamethrower on the starboard side, which I still disagree with.
And on the Rydr side, we have the Metacactus, which is a squid piloted by Dementio, which is a Hades front, Banshee side, Harpoon rear. Very, very interesting build for the Ryders. And the Lib GDL, which is a Watcha Fish piloted by Luosi with a Carronade Gatling for support. Now, Oracle, you've been following the Bardlolls around all day, and I have been shadowing the Ryders as they ascend the ranks. Have you been seeing these sort of builds from them all day?
Yeah, pretty much. This is what they've done already. Oh, wow. We already have fire going down.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Metacactus taking a lot of damage. They're returning fire with the Hades, but they bump. Yeah,
but they are absolutely just that rapid acceleration and that rapid max speed where it doesn't even phase him. He is once again back up and dodging. That bump, usually detrimental to ships, did almost nothing to him.
Oof, Watcha goes out in the meantime, off on the other side. That one ship losing all of its engines, but they're just keeping their two guys up top because they still have arcs. They want to hit the Metacactus as much as possible. They're chipping away at it, and they're not worried about the Watcha Fish. Their main engineer has the hull down.
Oh, they probably should worry about that Watcha Fish because they just got taken down.
That was a lot of damage, even holding onto the hull like that. Having the Metacactus coming in and firing, and then the Watcher to clean up was just way too much.
Yeah, and they were just able to dodge out of the Whistling Wind Chime. Junkers not being very good at the whole pursuit thing, being very slow and having only one forward-facing weapon.
I think what the Metacactus is trying to do in this case is they're trying to make a squid that cannot be ignored. If you have a good enough Hades gunner, the squid can't be ignored. And then if you ignore the squid for too long, it's going to come in and the Watcha is going to do work. It's a really nasty combination, and it's kind of a continuation of the meta that we saw last week, where it's not about whether your ships counter the other ships, it's how well does your combination work.
Yeah, how well are your ships complementing each other? And I mean, I think we saw a little bit of that to a lesser degree in the R&D Invitational last week, where Cake against SPQR brought very complementing long-range, mid-range builds, and sort of worked with those together. But I mean, this is much, much, much more specialized with a Hades squid and a Watcha fish.
Yeah, absolutely. And here comes the Hades squid, a little bit close, got a little bit aggressive here. That one chip coming up behind the Lib GDL as well. That's going to make a goldfish sandwich for the Whistling Wind Chime. Just beginning to run around the Lib GDL, making things difficult for this poor Goldie.
Yeah, Whistling Wind Chime is about to be out of balloon, turning that junker into one big ol' hitbox. That hull is dropping. A little bit more Hades fire will take him down, and he'll exposing that very limited permahull that junkers have.
Yeah, there goes the armor. This is hugely detrimental, and the Metacactus is using that Banshee to great effect. They bring the armor back up, but even that little bit of damage is very important.
Yeah, I mean, unless my ears deceive me, I hear heavy clip Banshee, so they're planning on using that as more of a long-range weapon. Look at that, that's how good I am at this game. I can identify what rounds are being shot out of a gun by how they sound. I've been here way too long.
Whistling Wind Chime loses its armor again. They still have people on the engines, though. They're not camping it. They're just trying to get away from this squid, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work.
A good maneuver underneath the bridge here, going to get behind some sporadic hard cover. Metacactus takes and is running away to help out the GDL with that one ship.
Yeah, whistling. Here we go. What is that? The Metacactus. Excuse me. I saw the whistling. The whistling
behind it.
Wind chime
the whistling
behind
cactus.
It. Yeah. The cactus is coming in, landing shots on Lib GDL. It managed to bring down that junker, and now has come to help. That one ship eating quite a bit of damage. It's still got people up on the guns, but they're out of arc. That was a very slow response.
that bifecta that we just saw from that Hades Banshee did a lot of damage to that one ship, and the Banshee has the opportunity to finish him off right here. One more shot.
Oh, armor comes back up.
Yeah,
They're
but for
camping
how
it,
long?
but
He is not going to be here.
they were camping the armor, and they were just taking way too much damage. Nice kill. Metacactus going to claim that one. In the
Good
meantime,
watch out for
LibGDL, yeah, dude,
good
getting a
watch
good
out.
shot.
Takes down just about everything. That Gatling is going to, plug his armor a little bit. That's almost gone, and that Banshee's going to be here any second now. Maybe not. Does not look like the Banshee's going to come in time. Whistling Windchime does get his armor back up.
Metacactus continuing to fire Hades shots out with that wonderful vertical arc. LibGDL, however, not able to get its gun up. The Metacactus, however, being given free reign because all they can afford is that one Artemis. Their ally needs to come in right now because the armor's down. There it
Banshee
goes.
finishing them off. Why are squids being so effective now?
I don't know!
The squid and the spire. The spire is, of course, underpowered to the point where it's teased off, and the squid has always been riding the line, but leaning very heavily to the side of underpowered. But these last two finals, we have seen squids used to great effect, and I think that is no coincidence that this is around the time that the Banshee buff came around, because both of these squids are packing one.
Yeah, definitely. Squids are terrifying, and the Banshee allows for a bifecta, and that was the real problem about the squid, is that you had a lot of trouble getting more than one light gun firing on the enemy. But in this case, they have the Banshee, which has a huge turning huge rotation arc, I should say.
Yeah, they're able to match it with they're able to match it with a couple different guns. Last week, a Gatling gun. This week, a Hades. Where that one ship is about to lose hull, not quite. Hwacha does stop a little short of stripping him.
Here we go, hopping on the Gatling. That one ship eating a lot of damage, armor down, and here comes the squid to assist. They do not have Banshee. There we go, there's the Banshee. They're trying to snipe him out and landing quite nicely.
Yeah, I mean, I am consistently impressed by this new Banshee play. And I've been using the Banshee for a very, very, very long time. But, I mean, on a squid, I've always had a joking build of triple Banshee. But pairing it with something else, like a Hades or a Gatling, is going to be something I'm going to start looking into.
Yeah, the Gatling is especially effective. The Hades, it's working, I think, with this pair of ships. Because they have one ship that is... Now, basically, it's impossible to ignore both of these ships, and that's really what they're going for in this.
That's what Ryders have been. I've been following the other side of the brackets, and I've been watching the Ryders all day, and that's what they've been doing, is they've been bringing two ships where you can't focus one because then the other one will hurt you a lot. We saw Galleon Obula a little bit earlier today. There was Hwachafish and Carrot a little bit later, and it's just they've just been putting the hurt on.
To great effect. Metacactus eating a little bit of flamethrower now, though. Looks like they have it decently under control.
Now, one more kill is all the Ryders need to take this first best-of-3 matches. I mean, LibGDL and Metacactus are hurting just a little bit, both of them at about 2/3 armor.
Here comes the Hwacha. They want the Whistling Wind Chime, and I think, goes a little bit wide. Not quite. Whole engine column is gone, and this Junker is in a lot of trouble.
Their balloon is out as well. That Junker is a giant hitbox, inviting every sort of weapon to come in. Banshee's clip should be about half out at this point. Not quite enough to finish it off, but will the Hades be? One more shot. That's all it takes.
That's it. Ryders pick up game number 1 of the Sunday Community Skirmish number 27 finals. Very convincingly. They just 5-0'd with a squid.
Wow.
I want to enunciate that. They, even the best teams, when they take like a squid or something like that, they lose kills. Even but because this group, like, they don't play regularly, but the Bard Lulls are two reasonably experienced team. The Bards and the Lulls, their levels kind of say it. I mean, levels don't mean everything, but these certainly are people who have who have played the game a lot. Yeah, and they should have been able to pick up a kill. Usually that's what you expect when you see something like that. But the Ryders 5-0'd. I think the squid might actually be legit.